Good morning, students. Welcome back to English class. Students, today we are going to see a new chapter in grammar, that is subject verb agreement. So, all of you take your grammar book and page number 70. Students, today's topic is subject verb agreement. What do you mean by subject verb agreement? We know subject and we know verb. Then what is the meaning of subject verb agreement? Okay, let us know about subject. Already we know that subject is a person or a thing the sentence talks about. Yes or no? We can talk, the sentence talks about who or what. This is known as subject. In simply we can say that it may be noun or pronoun. Then what about verb? Verb means action words or state of being. Then what about subject verb agreement? Subject verb agreement means they must agree with one another in number. Number means singular or plural. If a subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. If a subject is plural, the verb must also be plural. This is known as subject verb agreement. Students, let us see some examples. Look here. Now we are going to see singular subject and singular verb. Look at the example first of all. The dog chases the cat. What is the subject in the given example? Yes, you are right. The subject is dog. Dog means singular or plural? Yes, the dog is a singular noun. Then what is the verb in the given sentence? Yes, that is chases. So look here, end of the word we added s. So this is singular verb. If we add s to the verb, it is singular verb. Okay, the dog chases the cat. In the given example, the dog is the singular subject and chases is the singular verb. Already I said that. What do you mean by subject verb agreement? They must agree with one another in number. Number means either singular or plural. Here, singular subject always, what I said, singular subject always agree with singular verb. Okay, students, let us see the second example. Look here, already we have seen that singular subject always agrees with singular verb. Now we are going to see plural subject always agree with plural verb. And one more thing, just remember that if we add s to the verb, it is known as singular verb. If we do not add s to the verb, that is known as plural verb. Look here, look at the given example. The dogs chase the cat. What is the subject here? Dogs. Dogs, is it a plural or a singular? Yes, we know very well that dogs is plural because dogs means more than one dog. What is the verb in the given example? That is chase. Look at the word carefully. We do not add s to this verb. So, it is known as plural verb. In the given example, dogs is the plural noun. Chase is the plural verb. So, plural subject always agrees with plural verb. Singular subject always agrees with singular verb. Students, now we are going to see some more singular verb and plural verb. Look at the given table. Two columns are there. One is singular verb and another one is plural verb. First of all, we can see the singular verb column. What are the singular verbs are there? Is, has, was. Three are there. Let's take the first one, is. Is used as singular verb to the singular subjects. For example, she is nice. In this sentence, the subject is she. It is a singular subject. So that's why we have used singular verb is. She is nice, or otherwise he is nice. Let's move to the second one, has. Has is also used as singular verb with singular noun. For example, he has a new book. She has a new book. Let's move to the last one, was. Was is used with singular subject. Look at the example. She was angry. He was angry. But one more thing, you just remember that was is the past tense. We can use was in past tense, okay, past. Let's move to the next column, that is plural verb. What are the plural verbs given? Are, have, were. We can use these plural verbs with plural subjects only. Okay, let's take the first one, are. For example, we are doctors. In the given sentence, we is the plural subject. So that's why we used plural verb as are. We are doctors. They are doctors. Let's move to the next one, have. It is also used with plural subject. For example, they have notebooks. They, what do you mean by they? It is plural verb, plural noun. They have notebooks. We have notebooks. Let's move to the last one, were. Were is also used with plural noun. For example, they were bored. We were bored. But we should use were in past tense. And one more thing, two nouns are there. One is I and you. But we should, when we are using the subject as I, we should use verb as am. In past tense, we should use was. For example, I am here, or otherwise I was here. Let's move to the next one, you. When we are using the subject as you, we should use the verb as are. In past tense, were. For example, you are pretty. And let's see the another example, you were pretty. Students, now we are going to see some exception cases. Look here, two subjects are there. One is I and another one is you. When we are using the subjects as I and you, we do not add yes to the verb. What we have to do? When we are using subjects as I or you, we do not add yes. No need to add yes to the verb. Okay, let us see some examples. Look here. Look at the first example. I drink milk every morning. In the given example, what is the subject? What is subject here? Yes, you are right. The subject is I. Then what about verb? Yes, the verb is drink. So already I said that when the subject is I, we do not add s to the verb. So that's why in the given sentence, we do not add yes to the verb. So that's why I drink milk every day. Don't write I drinks because this is not a correct sentence. I drink milk every morning. Let's move to the next one. You swim faster than me. So what is subject here? You. Yes. What about verb? That is swim. Look here, we do not add s to this verb. So just keep it in your mind. When we are using subjects as I or you, we do not add yes to this verb. Okay? Students, now we are going to do the warm-up exercise. Before going to main exercise, let's start with the warm-up activity. So all of you take the page number 70. Okay, let us see. Join the words in the columns to form sentences by adding is or are. 3 columns are given. The second column is are. So this is verb column, okay. What we have to do? We have to join the words in the column, okay. Then only it will form a complete sentence. We should use either is or are. It belongs to the subject. Already I said that if the subject is singular, we should use singular verb. If the subject is plural, we should use plural verb. Okay, let us see the first one, Rohit. Rohit is a singular noun. So what we have to use? Yes, singular verb, that is. Rohit is happy. Write neatly. Let's move to the second one, Rohit and Amit. So Rohit and Amit means two person. It is plural subject. So which verb we should use here? Are. For plural nouns, for plural subjects, we should use plural verb. Rohit and Amit are playing carom. Write neatly. Let's move to the third one, Shruti and her friends. So this is also plural subject. Shruti and her friends are going to the market. Let's move to the fourth one, the dogs. Already said that dogs means it is plural, more than one dog. So, which verb is used with the plural subject? Yes, that is are. The dogs are playing together. And the last one, the puppy. Puppy. Is puppy singular or plural? Yes, puppy means one small baby dog. So, it is singular. So, the puppy is asleep. Students, I hope you should you may written neatly in your grammar book. Okay, students, now we are going to do the main exercise. Let us see what is that. Underline the subjects in these sentences and write whether they are singular or plural. Students, first of all, read the sentence properly, okay? Then underline the subject. After reading it properly, underline the subject. If the subject is singular, just write the letter S. Otherwise, if it is plural, write the letter P. Okay, students? You understood? Yes, if the subject is singular, write the letter S in the given dash. Otherwise, if the given subject is plural, write the letter P in the given dash. Okay, let us see the first one. The mango is hard and green. What is the given sentence? The mango is hard and green. What is the subject here? Yes, you are right. The mango. Is mango singular or plural? Yes, we are talking about one mango. That is singular. So, underline the word the mango and write the letter S. Let's move to the second one. Sudha went to the market. Sudha went to the market. So, we are talking about Sudha. So, Sudha is a one girl. That is singular subject. Underline the noun Sudha. Underline the subject Sudha and write the letter S. Let's move to the third one. The dancers are going to France for a show. What is the subject? Dancers. Dancers means plural because we are talking about more than one dancer. So the dancers is a plural noun. So write the letter P in the given blank. First of all, underline the subject, the dancers, and write the letter P. Let's move to the fourth one. The new pencils are for my brother. What is the subject? Pencils. Yes, the new pencils means we are describing the pencils as new. So underline the subject, the new pencils. Okay, here the plural noun is pencils. So write the letter P in the given blank. Let's move to the fifth one. We bought apples in Shimla. What is the subject? We. We means that is plural. Plural. Yes or no? We means not only one person. It talks about more than one. So underline the subject we and write the letter P. Let's move to the last one. Sam, Tom and Jim are going to Kochi by train. Sam, Tom and Jim. We are talking about three persons. They are going to Kochi. So three persons means it is a plural subject. So write the letter P in the given blank. Students, do it neatly and write properly. Write the letters properly in the given blanks. Students, we have completed the first exercise. Now we are going to start the second exercise. That is, fill in the blanks with is, am or are. We should use is, am or are in the given following sentences. Let's do the first one. Radha dash taller than her sister. So what is the subject? Radha. Radha is a singular person. It means what we have to use? Is. You're right. Radha is taller than her sister. Let's move to the second one. I dash going to become an actor someday. Already I said that when we use the subject as I, we should use the verb as am. Yes or no? Now, what we have to do? We should use am. I am going to become an actor someday. Let's move to the third one. Rupam dash my best friend. Rupam means it denotes a singular person, singular subject. Okay. So what we should use here? Is. The verb is. Rupam is my best friend. Let's move to the fourth one. This chair dash broken. This chair means they are talking about one chair, particularly one chair. This chair. Chair means singular subject. Okay, so we should use singular verb, that is. This chair is broken. Let's move to the fifth one. I dash sad today. Already I said that when we use the subject as I, which verb we should use? Yes, you're right. That is am. I am sad today. Let's move to the sixth one. You dash wearing a pretty dress. Which verb we should use for the sixth one? And one more thing, just remember that when we are using subjects as I or you, not I, you. When we are using subject as you, we should use the verb as are. Okay. So, which verb we should use now? Are. You are wearing a pretty dress. Let's move to the seventh one. The boys dash going on a picnic. First of all, find out the subject. What is the subject in the given sentence? Boys. Is boys singular or plural? Yes. We know very well that boys means we are talking about more than one. It is plural. So, the correct verb is are. The boys are going on a picnic. Let's move to the last one. That is eighth one. Your house dash very beautiful. What is the subject here? Your house. Yes or no? Then what we should use now? Is. Your house. House means we are talking about one house. Okay. That is singular subject. Your house is very beautiful. Okay students. Now we have completed the second exercise also. Write neatly. I hope you may written very neat in your grammar book. Always use pencil. Okay. Students, we have completed the first two exercises. Now we are going to do the third exercise, that is fill in the blanks with has or have. It means complete the following sentences with either has or have. Okay, before going to do this exercise, just remember that for singular subjects we must agree with singular verb. For plural subject we must agree with plural verbs. Okay, let us see the first one. They dash my book. Okay, find out the subject in the first one. Yes, the subject is they. It is a plural subject. Then what is the answer? Yes, you're right. The answer is have. They have my book. Let's move to the second one. He dash a cold. Find out the subject. Yes, the correct subject is he. It is a singular subject. So what about the verb? Which one we should write in the second one? Yes, you're right. Has. He has a cold. Let's move to the third one. Sarah and Sunaina dash a test tomorrow. Here two nouns are there and it is combined by and. When we combine two nouns by and, it will be considered as a plural subject only. So the subject is plural means what is the answer? Yes, the answer is have. Sarah and Sunaina have a test tomorrow. Let's move to the fourth one. Mr. Kanna dash a flower shop. What is the subject? Yes, the subject is Mr. Kanna and it is a singular subject. So the answer is yes, correct. The answer is has. Mr. Kanna has a flower shop. Let's move to the fifth one. My car dash blue seat covers. Here the subject is my car. It is a singular subject. So we should use has. My car has blue seat covers. Let's move to the sixth one. You dash a good sense of humor. So which is the answer for the sixth one? Students, one thing you just remember, some exception cases are there. I said already, when we are using subjects as I or you, we should agree with plural verbs. So here the answer is have. You have a good sense of humor. Let's move to the seventh one. I dash a cold and a fever. What is the subject? I. It is an exception case. So we should use have. I have a cold and a fever. Let's move to the eighth one. The goat dash two horns on its head. Find out the subject in the eighth one. Yes, the subject is the goat. It is a singular subject. So we should agree with singular verb has. The goat has two horns on its head. Students, write neatly and clearly. Students, now we are going to do the fourth exercise, that is fill in the blanks with the correct options. Students, here they gave two options. You can choose the correct answer for the given sentences. Okay, let's do the first one. Sujata dash writing a book. So what is the subject here? Sujata. Sujata is a singular subject. So which is the correct one? Which one is correct? Is or are? Yes, when we are using singular subject, we should use singular verb. Sujata is writing a book. Let's move to the second one. The vendor dash fruits and vegetables. Vendor is a singular subject talking about one person. Okay. Fruits. The vendor dash fruits and vegetables. Two options are given: sell or sells. Which is correct? I said that for singular subject we use singular verb, that is we have to add yes to the verb. Okay, the correct answer is the vendor sells fruits and vegetables. Let's move to the third one. Renu dash very well. Renu is the singular subject. Okay, which is the correct one? Sing or sings? Yes, you're right. The correct answer is sings, because sings is a singular verb. We added yes to the verb. The Renu sings very well. Let's move to the fourth one. The cows dash in the field. Cows. Here the subject is cows. The cows. But it is a plural subject. So we should select plural verb only. Which one is plural verb in the fourth one? Gaze or graze or grazes? Yes, graze. Because if we do not add yes to the verb, that is known as plural verb. The cows graze in the field. Let's move to the fifth one. Vikram dash for the school basketball team. So which is subject here? Vikram. So which is verb? Yes, plays. Vikram plays for the school basketball team. Let's move to the sixth one. The elephant and the hippo both dash grass and leaves. Already I said that if two nouns are combined by and, it is also considered as plural subject only. So if we are using plural subject, we must agree with plural verb. Plural verb means we do not add yes to the verb. That is known as plural verb. So which one is correct for the sixth one? The elephant and the hippo both eat grass and leaves. Let's move to the seventh one. Crocodiles dash in water as well as on land. So what is the subject here? Crocodiles. It is a plural subject. We know very well that. So which verb is correct for the seventh one? Yes, you're right. Live, because we do not add yes to the verb. Crocodiles live in water as well as on land. Students, do it neatly. Students, we have completed the first 4 exercises in this chapter. Now we are going to do the last exercise, that is fill in the blanks with was or were. Already we know that the verbs was or were or the past tense or the past forms of is and are. So was is used for singular subjects, were is used for plural subjects. Let us do the first one, that is he dash at home all of yesterday. So the subject is he. Then which verb is correct for the first one? Was or were? Yes, you're right. Was. He was, because was is used for singular subject only. Let's move to the second one. They dash singing loudly. So what is the subject? The subject is they. They means more than one. Okay. So which verb is used for the second one? Was or were? Yes, were. The correct answer is were, because were is used as plural verb. They were singing loudly. Let us move to the third one. She dash cooking pasta for me. So find out the subject. The subject in the third one. Yes, the subject is she. Then what about verb? Yes, you're right. The verb we used in the third one is was. She was cooking pasta for me. Let's move to the fourth one. It dash raining heavily yesterday. So what is the subject here? It. So it is the singular subject. Then what about verb? Yes, you're right. The verb we used in the fourth one is was. It was raining heavily yesterday. Let's move to the fifth one. I dash sick after I ate 4 mangoes. So which is the correct one? Yes, was. I was sick after I ate 4 mangoes. Let's move to the sixth one. You dash late for school. Which is correct? Was or were? Yes, were. You were late for school. So already I said that when we are using subjects as I or you, we do not use singular verb. We have to use plural verbs. So that's why we used was for I, and in the sixth one we used were for you. Let's move to the seventh one. Tara dash preparing for a quiz last week. So find out the subject in the seventh sentence. Tara. Tara is a singular subject. So which one is correct? Yes, you're right. That is was. Tara was preparing for a quiz last week. Let's move to the eighth one. Ria and Sabah dash going to watch a film. Already I said that when the two subjects or when the two nouns are combined by an and, we should consider as plural subject. So Ria and Sabah are plural subject. So that's why we have used the verb as plural. Ria and Sabah were going to watch a film. Students, now we are going to do an interesting activity. That is, let us write. Okay. What is that? Rewrite the paragraph using the correct forms of the verbs. Okay, students, look here. One paragraph is there. You should rewrite this paragraph. It means some verbs are not in their forms. You should rewrite with correct forms of the verbs. Look here. Jitin are a little boy. Jitin is a boy's name. It is a singular subject. We know very well that Jitin is a boy name. So it is singular subject. What I said, if we are using singular subject, we must agree with singular verb. Look here, Jitin are. Are is not a singular verb. So what should we have to do now? Strike out the verb are and write is. Jitin is a little boy. Let's move to the next line. He live in a small house below a hill. Okay. What is the subject in the second line? Yes, you're right. The subject is he. He is a singular subject. Then what about verb? Here, live is a plural verb. So what should we add? We have to add the letter S to this verb. It become lives. He lives in a small house below a hill. So this like you want to do this exercise. Students, I have done the first line. Remaining you should done properly. Use pencil. Wherever errors are there, you just strike out the error and write the correct forms of the verbs. Do neatly and clearly. Students, now we are going to learn something new. That is suffix. Before going to the concept, have you heard about suffix? Do you know the meaning of suffix? Okay, suffix is a letter or group of letters. What do you mean by suffix? Suffix is a letter or group of letters which are added to the end, not in the beginning. It added to the end of an existing word. Then only it become a new word with a different meaning. What do you mean by suffix? Suffix is a letter or group of letters that are added to the end of an existing word and it becomes a new word with different meaning. Okay, look here. ISH, ish. ABLE, able. LESS, less. These three are suffix. Okay, just I have given 3 examples for suffix: ish, able, less. Okay, let us see. First example, we have taken the word child, then we are adding ISH to the end of this word. Now look at the word childish. Okay, let's move to the second one. The given word is like. Now we are adding the suffix able to the end of the word like. It become likable. Let's move to the third one. The given word is taste. We are adding suffix to this word. Then it became tasteless. Students, now I hope you understood what is suffix and how can we use suffix to the word. Students, now we are going to see about prefix. Just now only we have seen suffix. Now we are going to see about prefix. So prefix, what do you mean by prefix? Prefix is a letter or group of letters which we are added to the beginning of an existing word to create a new word with different meaning. What do you mean by prefix? Prefix is a letter or group of letters which are added to the beginning. It means starting. Beginning of an existing word to create a new word with a different meaning. Okay, some prefixes are multi, re, semi. Okay, let us see some examples. Look at the first one. The prefix is multi. When we are adding the prefix multi to any other word, it will become a new word, that is multinational. Let's move to the second one. The prefix is re and the given word is turn. When we are combining these two, the new word is return. Let's move to the third one. The prefix is semi and the given word is circle. When we combine these two, it become semicircle. Students, now we are going to see about synonym and antonym. Already we know about that because we are writing synonyms and antonyms in our classwork. Okay, let us see. Okay, what do you mean by synonym? Synonym is a word. Synonym is a word that has the similar meaning or related meaning. Look here, the given example is wrong and another word is the meaning of wrong is incorrect. Look students, look here, both the words are looking different but they have same meaning. Okay, so this is known as synonym. The synonym of wrong is incorrect. Instead of wrong, we can use the word incorrect also. Let's move to the next one, antonym. Simply we can say antonym means opposite word. What do you mean by antonym? It means opposite word. A word opposite in meaning to another. For example, the given example is bad. What is the opposite of bad? Yes, it is good. What is the opposite of boy? You are right. The opposite of boy is girl. Synonym means that similar meaning. Antonym means opposite word to that word. Okay, opposite word to the given word. Students, now we came to an end. It means recap corner. Now we are going to recall today's concept, that is subject verb agreement. We know that what is subject and what is verb. Subject means person or thing we talk about. Then what about verb? It means action, words or state of being. So what do you mean by subject and verb agreement? It means subject always agree with its verb. The subject must agree with its verb. When the subject is singular, we should use singular verb. When the subject is plural, we should use plural verb. But some exceptions are there. When we use subject as I or you, we should use singular form of verbs. And one more thing, today we have seen prefix, suffix, synonym and antonym. What do you mean by prefix? Prefix is a letter or group of letters that are added to the beginning of an existing word. What do you mean by suffix? Suffix is also a letter or group of letters that are added to the end of an existing word. What do you mean by synonym and antonym? Synonym means meanings. What do you mean by antonym? Antonym means opposite. Students, today we have completed chapter 17, that is subject verb agreement in grammar. I hope you understood. We will meet on next class with another topic. Thank you.